Hi everybody, thanks for joining us for our weekly market roundup on today's Northern Ag TV. Well, the markets did take a breather yesterday, of course, for the federal holiday, but cattle markets here so far in February have been nothing short of impressive. Of course, January's biannual cattle inventory report did lend a very helpful hand in reminding traders and producers across the entire country just how tight these supplies are and how the market's going to last here in 2026. Last week's cash cattle bids did surface at the last minute on Friday, so the board did not get a full opportunity to digest last week's numbers, meaning we should see higher prices on the board here today. April feeders did fall 17 cents Friday afternoon down to $363.45, with the May contract off 47 cents and $359.42. April live cattle, they dropped 2.5 cents down to $240.62, with the June off a dime at $236.15. And make sure to be on the lookout for this month's livestock market update with our Ag Director Colter Brown to give a little bit of insight on what we've seen here so far in 2026 and of course what's to come as we approach springtime. And of course, there's no question that this production sale and bull sale season so far here in 2026 has been nothing short of impressive. In a recent article on the Western Livestock Journal, regional field rep Kevin Mernon shared some highlights so far from the production sales, showing that bulls are currently averaging just north of $13,000 across all breeds in our region. That's roughly $2,000 to $2,500 a head increase from 2025. Kevin Mernon also reported that demand for commercial replacements has been very strong as well. Open heifers averaging around $3,100 atop of $4,000. Commercial bred heifers, they've even touched $5,000 a head. Looking at some local sales from the weekend, Powder River Angus in Buffalo, Wyoming sold 125 yearling bulls for an average of $11,300. That's up 30% from last year's average. The sale topper headed to Webo, Montana for $26,500. Out at Drake, North Dakota for the Bruner Angus Ranch sale, 79 yearling bulls, they averaged $10,400. 36 older bulls at $9,300. 55 register bred heifers, they averaged right at $5,000. Register bred cows, $46.75. We're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, but we'll come back with a look at the grain markets right after this.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.
Now, meantime, over in the grain markets, we have seen some slight improvements on the board from corn, soybean, and wheat futures, as President Trump has reported this past week that good relationships with China are likely to lead to more trade deals in the upcoming weeks. Corn contracts since the middle of January, they've climbed around 10 cents, adding another half cent Friday in the March contract sitting at $4.31 a bushel, the May futures at $4.42. For the soybeans, they've been on a bullish tear, adding 70 cents in the last 2 weeks on the board. Strong optimism around China deals and Argentina's soybean crops seeing a decline in their crop conditions due to some drought has sparked new life into the U.S. bean market. Wrapping up our report today with the wheat prices, pretty sideways trading the past week or so, but we did see winter wheat contracts climb around 15 cents just last week. Spring wheat contracts, they gained around a penny or two. Wheat futures are still having a tough time trending a whole lot higher as world supplies just continue to rise month after month in the supply and demand reports. But U.S. wheat exports are holding on and staying on a very strong pace here in the early part of 2026. As always, you can find these market updates, numbers, and much more on our website, northernag.net. I'm Colton Young, Northern Ag Network.